Hello everyone. So as you can see today, we will be speaking about one of the most commonly used utensils nowadays. Even there have been a lot of promotions and marketing around this cookware. It's none other than the cast iron pans and kadais. So we will just see. So these are the some of the pans that I have got in my kitchen. As you can see, I've got two skillets there. The bottom one is a 10-inch pan and the small one is a 6-inch pan, and I've got a small kadai, and this one is for making appams. It's not the small appams, it's Kerala appams that I mean. And this is again for the sweet dish, again called as appams, or you can make paniyarams. And this is the normal dosa tawa. This is around 11-inch pan tawa. So nowadays you can see a lot of people are heavily promoting cast iron pans, and asking all those true cooking people to go back to the traditional ways for a healthier living. So I think there is a lot of interest among people to go and buy different cast iron utensils for themselves and use it in their kitchen. So talking about cast iron, it's nothing but an carbon iron alloy for which is used for making utensils, basically using the die cast method. So there will be a die onto which you will be pouring the molten iron, and once the die is broken off after cooling, you get the pans or the skillets, whatever it is, according to the mold, and you basically hand polish it or machine polish it, and to get the fineness and the smoothness on the inside part of the utensils. So previously in olden times it used to be always the hand polished ones, and nowadays everything is machine polished. But always the hand polished utensils will be always a class apart from today's machine polished ones. And in olden times, especially in the southern part of India, I am not much aware of the northern parts. So especially in the southern parts of India, the cast irons was used not as a staple cookware, because always in our households the clay pots as well as the stone cookwares were the most widely used utensils, and cast irons was not a frequent ones, but all families used to have the fry pans or especially the kadais for cooking. Now the main reason why the cast iron is getting promoted now is because of the tagline that it says you need to bridge the gap of iron deficiency in your system. Of course, yes, because iron is one of the important minerals that you need in your body, which is basically found in the hemoglobin of red blood cells, and which helps in transporting your oxygen and carbon dioxide in your body. So that's an important mineral that you need to have. And in olden times, you will know that all the families were not privileged. In fact, majority of the families was middle class or even below that, could not afford all kind of iron rich vegetables or meat, in fact, in their daily food intake. So the one of the alternate ways they found was to use these iron utensils. So once you cook the food in iron utensils, the iron starts to leach into the food, and when you intake the food cooked in iron pans, you get that iron intake, and all the deficiencies which you have, especially the iron content in the blood, will be fine and will be bridged. So that was the main reason of using iron pans and iron cookware in the old kitchens. But the thing that you need to be aware of is even though iron is a major important mineral that your body needs, it is one of the minerals that the body cannot discharge out if it is in excess. So the body cannot discharge excess amount of iron through urine or through excreta, through sweat, or be it any other way. It cannot do that because the iron content is always in the blood, and losing blood is the only way that you can maintain a proper iron deposit in your body. So any excess iron in your body can cause a lot of other organ problems in the long term. Not in the short term, but in the long term, when the iron starts to get accumulated in the body for very long time, and if the content is more than what the body is required, it can adversely affect. So this is something that no one probably will tell you, even though they push that use cast iron pans in your daily cooking. So it's not something, this cast iron utensils is not something that you can do for a daily cooking. Daily you need to cook your vegetable dishes or meat dishes or curries in cast iron pans. No, it's not recommended. You can use it occasionally, but not on a daily cooking basis. So this is something that I have not heard anyone telling in public, so please be aware of that. So if you actually see in olden times, see, it was not a big problem in past, because as I said, the vegetables, the iron-rich vegetables or meat, it was not a common thing where every family could afford. So they were using the cast iron pans to get your daily iron intake, so that they don't have any other hemoglobin problems. And if you have really seen the way the old people have done it, they don't use much of the cast iron utensils once, especially the ladies. They don't use it once they are over the age of 50, because see, in their old ages, when they reach a state of menopause, there is no blood loss. There is no blood loss there, which they usually have on a monthly basis because of the menstruation. So in olden times, if you have really seen, the old lady stops cooking in these iron pans once they reach past the age of 50. If you have really observed that as well. And that's one of the reasons. And especially pregnant ladies, you should not have excess consumption of iron during the pregnant times. It will adversely affect your baby in the womb. So always keep an iron content in check, especially if you are pregnant. So that is one of the reasons why you say that do not use the cast iron utensils on a daily basis. Yes, you can cook it occasionally, once in a while, but not for daily purpose. And the main advantage of using cast iron is that it has an excellent heat distribution and heat retention properties. So whatever you cook, may be it dosas or meat or fish, or it comes in a smooth fry gets smooth, very well cooked and fried. You get an even fried coating over the top of the meat or the fish, or be it in crispy dosas that you love. So that is one advantage that you have, and that is probably one thing that people get attracted towards too, and buy these pans. So, and regarding the seasoning of the cast iron pans, it comes as you use. Because you pour the oil and cook it, and after cooking you generally don't wash it with soap or a steel scrubber or anything, because it'll as you cook, the oil tries to create a smooth layer, a fine nano coating layer over the utensils over time, and that gives you a non-stick. You can see the shiny coating there, if you can see it. So that comes over when you use it for over multiple times, and when you scrub it with a hard spoon or a steel scrub, that coating goes off. So it is advisable that you don't use hard metals or a steel scrubber to wash it. Just wash it with warm water, and that's it, and dry it up. because if you have water on the surface, it will again rust, because it's an iron. Basically it will go and rust. So you need to take a good care of iron utensils, and if you do that, it will last for generations. It will not, you can even pass on these utensils to your kids, and even they can do that. So the durability of cast iron utensils is very very high, and it absolutely depends upon how you take care. And nowadays I think everything, the pans of different sizes, starting from I think even 4 inches to a 12-inch pan, you can easily buy it online or even the shops. So these are kind of the skillet pans, especially for frying meat or fish, anything, because, and you can even braise the meat. So these kind of designs are not Indian type. These designs have been used from the Western culture. Basically what we used to have traditionally is a normal pan with a wooden handle. So this is a complete cast iron handle. So even the handle gets hot, so you need to have some kind of a protective clothing or gloves when you cook with. And these are small kadais that I generally use it for frying puris or papads or anything. I can even use it for tempering or tadka. Even this I can use it for frying an egg or a couple of eggs. And this is much larger pan which can be used for frying meat or frying fish, anything. And dosas, as you know, yes, for having your crispy dosas, and these are for appams, and these are for paniyarams. So this is it, guys. I hope that even you have some of the utensils, cast iron utensils at your home. But yeah, make sure that you take a good care of these utensils and season it properly. And do not use much of a citrus kind of food items on these pans, because when you use citrus kind of food items, especially lemon or tomato or vinegar, it kinds of strips off whatever the seasoning you have in the pan already, and it will go back to the bare metal surface. So that is not something that is advised to cook with. But yeah, so depending upon all these usage, take care of the good pans, and it'll last for a lifetime. And do think that do not use the cast iron pans much on a daily basis. You always try to cook with the clay pot or the stone pot or even Indalium pans. So even though there is a lot of promotion for the cast iron cookwares, do not use it on a daily basis, because unless and until you check your your iron content in the blood, you will never know whether you are in excess. And as I said, the only way the body can remove the excess iron content is by the loss of blood, either by a good way or a bad way. Both are not advised. And for the pregnant ladies, do not use much of the cast iron cookware. It is always better to take iron rich food, vegetables, rather than trying to bridge that gap from cooking from cast iron utensils. So that's it, guys. I hope that it was kind of useful for all. Any comments, you can let me know down. Thank you.